Hello, Rockstar Bingo hosts. Okay, today we're going to talk about something that I think is a good best practice for Rockstar Bingo. It's really a good practice for a best practice for anyone that leads multiple personalities or does multiple things on a computer. So this is Mac or PC, and this is about creating separate browser profiles for things that have nothing to do with anything else. So, for example, your day-to-day browser, which is basically the bulk of everything that you do with applications these days. There's not a lot of software these days. Most things are software as a service. They're browser-based. So, you're probably using the same computer that you maybe use for work and personal life, and you're probably using a Gmail account, and you're probably syncing things, and it's probably actually gumming up the works for things that aren't related to that. So, as a best practice for Music Bingo, Rockstar Bingo hosts, and also a key thing that helps avoid Spotify connection issues, because Spotify stores credentials and connection data in the browser. So if you choose it wrong, it remembers it wrong, and the only fix is to delete your browser history, which is something we already have articles for, and it can help with that. But the way to avoid it is to create a whole separate browser. So I'm going to show you my my Google browser here. So this is Sean. This is me, my normal world. This is my browser. I check my mail in here. It's purple. So that would be my day-to-day life. I can sync it with Google, I can sync it with whatever. That's my day-to-day account. What I'm suggesting is anytime you need to do something special, create a separate profile. So this can be done in Google, this can be done in Microsoft Edge Chromium, and really what it is you're creating a separate browser. You get to choose the color, which may be minor but easy to identify. You get to choose an icon. But it actually creates a whole separate internet cache for just that browser. Allows you to install different extensions. So if you've got a bunch of extensions that you use day to day but have nothing to do with Music Bingo, maybe don't install them in that browser so that they're not causing a conflict. So here's the steps to create a Rockstar Bingo browser. So you're going to choose your existing browser. You're going to click on whatever one exists. And under other profiles, you're going to choose Add. And one thing you're going to do is not sign in. You don't want to link this to Google. You don't want to sync it to a bunch of things. You want this to be a standalone, rigid, rock solid, when it's go time, gig time. I don't want any of the stuff that I clicked on last night when I was drinking red wine at 11 in the morning interrupting my day-to-day usage. So we're going to continue without an account. At this point, I'll call it Rockstar Bingo, but you might call it DJ Jazzy Jeff or whatever, Rockstar Bingo, whatever profile you're going to use to be that person during your show. I've already used purple for mine, so I'll just choose this dark teal. And you can choose an image as well, maybe because you're spinning music, maybe a record. That's your call. The difference is once I create this browser, you can see it's a different Chrome browser. You can tell there's a different icon. I can switch between them now. In this browser, I can have different extensions. I have a different bookmark bar, but you can see this guy doesn't have that bookmark bar. As well, my default computer settings here is it wants to install Adobe Acrobat, which is the biggest pain in my butt. So I'm just going to remove that because I don't want that. I don't need Adobe Acrobat for my shows. So we want this profile to be really, really clean. The next thing we're going to do is connect to Rockstar Bingo and log in. And we're going to log into my account here. And I'll go grab my credentials. Well, that would help if I click the button. And log in. So another thing I'm going to point out at this point is some people are finding that they're getting logged in and they end up with a spinning Spotify thing. And what's happening is, people are in a rush. It's gig time and you're busy and you've had a beer. This login with the Spotify thing is actually a legacy option, and we're getting rid of it. So you can't actually sign up with Spotify anymore. You sign up with Rockstar Bingo with a Google account or a standalone username password account. You can't sign up with Spotify anymore. We stopped that about a year ago, and pretty soon we're going to actually move this to the bottom. I think this is a mistake that we've had, and we're going to address that shortly. By the time you see this video, this might be gone. But logins with Spotify will either be down at the bottom or deprecated. So I think this is actually what's happening for a lot of people is they're going, I connect with Spotify, but you connect with Spotify or Rockstar Bingo, you don't log in as it. Okay, so I'm going to log in with my email. That's my username. I'm going to grab my password. I log in, and I can save that in this profile, so I don't even have to remember it, right? Because it's a completely standalone profile. Behind the scenes, Windows and Mac is actually creating a folder structure. It's a whole separate registry. It's all separate. So any other tools that I want to use when I'm doing this will exist in this clean, unimpacted browser outside of my day-to-day life, which would be my normal browser, right? This guy here, Sean Primary. So that's the tip for today, how to create a dedicated profile for Rockstar Bingo so that you can have maximum success every time you show up at your gig. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.